I've tried 3 or 4 times to make this video, but I don't know where to start. So I guess I'll start by saying that God told me in 2017 to watch for signs and wonders. But He did not tell me to fear them and to freak out and to call in the National Guard. So that raises a red flag for me and just leads me to believe that this is all planned and an order out of chaos event, possibly a ritual of some kind will take place. But as for anything major happening on that day, I don't really look for anything big to happen. I was first going to make this video talking about my childhood and linking childhood injections to the frequencies. I have a theory that suggests that they've been doing this to us our whole lives. They with some type of nanoparasitic organism and it lays dormant, and then they turn up a frequency and activate it and make us sick. Why? Lots of reasons. That's a story for another day, but I do believe this is what is being done. But before I give you the dates on all of that, let's jump back over to this chaos event with the eclipse that's taking place today. I have what I call red flag moments when something just doesn't sit right with me. It's usually something that they're pushing a narrative big time and everybody else is believing it and sharing it. And for me, I go, hold up, wait a minute. We better take a deeper look into this because it doesn't sit right with me. Red flag. Back in 2016, when I first started waking up to everything like 9/11 and Nibiru, I followed people like Sam. And then I jumped from there over to Flat Earth, which I now believe it's a snow globe. Don't tell anybody. But I did the whole Trump and Q thing. I went down all of the rabbit holes, all of the agenda-driven scenarios that we're now allowed to talk about. But back then, see the 5G right there in that video? Yeah, see, they're showing me. That's what I can't talk about. That's what I couldn't talk about back then. And that's what I can't talk about now and link it to our health. I mean, you can talk about it, but you can't link it to your health. I feel like somebody wants me to talk about this G5 thing here that we're looking at in the sky. I mean, am I wrong? Like, it's there. And I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to start talking more about how it's linked to transhumanism and the biodigital convergence and the fact that this is a fight for our souls. The only reason I even have this channel is because my uncle passed away after his third and my mom got pericarditis after her second injection. And I kept going to Facebook jail for talking about it. And I got tired of it. So I come over here and made a YouTube channel to take sky videos. And then guess what happened? I seen what's in the sky. So I had to start talking about that. In 2017, I heard "Come Out of Her, My People." That's when I stopped all of my narcotic medications. I stopped bartending and I came back home and started doing daycare again. And when I say I hear, it's not like I hear an actual audible voice. I just hear these thoughts in my head over and over again. In 2019, when I started going down all the rabbit holes that we've all been down, I heard "My people died for lack of knowledge." That's when I started learning about Prion's disease and the possibility that it could be a side effect of certain. I had already been down all the 5G rabbit holes. I started warning everybody hardcore, like I screamed louder than anybody in Southeast Kansas. Everybody knew that I was against it because I was already against the childhood ones because I had put the connection together, that's how they keep us sick. In 2021, I heard Show Them. So I started my YouTube Sky channel, and I tried not to give my opinion, but it's really hard to not talk about all of this. So I went with just showing what I see, not necessarily what I believe, but what I see. In 2022, all I heard was, it's a beast machine. Show them. So I did. In 2023, I heard the sky is a weapon. And now I'm hearing it's activation day. But I'm pretty sure it's something I'm not allowed to talk about. They want me to talk about portals and CERN and NASA and comets and fentanyl and war and Russia and China and Zimbabwe. I can even talk about things that put me in Facebook jail years ago. I can talk about them now. So let's go down my list of red flags. Most recent red flag that I seen was the Black Mirror glasses have been recalled. I don't say a lot here on YouTube, but I post a lot on Facebook. And I said just a couple of days ago that they would probably recall these glasses and use it as an excuse for when people get sick down the road. It was because they wore faulty glasses. Red flag number 2, demon face syndrome. I think I might have that. Or do I just have spiritual discernment? This is a red flag to me because I believe it's just an excuse for when people see what we've been seeing, they might freak out. Red flag number 3, fentanyl. They told us a couple days ago that there could be a biological attack from the sky where they drop fentanyl on crowds of people. Then they come out today and tell us that people may be taking fentanyl and other narcotics to enhance their viewing pleasure. So if you are planning on going to the eclipse, take Narcan with you, just in case, because they may decide to do something nefarious as an excuse for why people are later getting sick. It's just a leftover effect of that nasty old fentanyl that was sprayed on you. So take some Narcan. You might save a life. Red flag number 4, we have the fallen angels playing that big old harp. You know, the harp in the sky that the angels play. Yeah, it's real. And it causes climate change, in case you haven't heard. And right now, in Antarctica, everything's melting. So there could be a virus coming from Antarctica because of climate change and harp. Red flag number 5, the big planet Nibiru. You know, it's a secret, but we're allowed to talk about it everywhere. Yes, we are, and it might bring us some radiation, if we're lucky. Red flag number 6, Elon Musk and his lovely little rockets that they're going to shoot up there. Who knows what they're going to do, but you can count on them doing something nefarious. Red flag number 7, that pesky old devil comet. You know, it's going to fly right by, right at the time of totality. Maybe it'll drop off some aliens and they'll leave us a virus. And that's why everybody's now sick. Red flag number 8, here we have CERN opening up that big old portal and letting in them demons. You know, they could be bringing. Red flag number 9, avian flu. You know, the chickens are sick and they gave it to the cows who gave it to the deer, and now they're going to give it to you. That's why everybody's sick now. Red flag number 10, here come the zombies. But you know, this is the one we might want to pay attention to because it's the one that raises the most red flags for me because it's the most closely related to the Jacobs disease that's taking place in Michigan right now. Not a conspiracy, not a possibility, actually happening. Red flag 11. They're telling you to wear red and green. If I was you, I would wear blue. There's probably nothing to this other than fear and to make conspiracy look stupid, but just for the heck of it, wear blue. Red flag number 12. It's been 40 months since the first was given in New York, which seems like a pretty good incubation period to me. I think that pretty much covers all of my red flags. And in case you can't tell by the tone of my voice, I don't believe that all of these things will happen. I do believe that there's a possibility of any of these things happening. Oh, and I forgot to mention, there might be an earthquake, there might be an EMP, there might be lights out. Yeah, that's all been put out there too as programming for us to fear, which I think is working. If you follow me on Facebook, you should be prepped, because I screamed that pretty hard back in 2019 too. And I've been pretty vocal about the fact that I'm still eating food that I paid half the price for 2 years ago. Prepping's not a bad thing. I also live in Tornado Alley, so it would probably be stupid to not be prepped. I have no idea what this is going to sound like. I'm going to go back and listen to it all after I'm done. But I think I do better like on the fly outside, just walking around and talking. I don't really like this robot type da 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 getting things off of my list. I have many pages here. But let's get back to my childhood and the reason that I originally started making this video before the whole eclipse fiasco started. I've pretty much been a slave to the pharmaceutical industry my whole life. I was one of those people who really thought that they would help me, and I bought into all of their... At one time, I had 7 different doctors and was on 17 different medications. I was being treated for lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia, bulging discs, depression, not being able to sleep. I mean, you name it, I had it because I was on all those pills and I had the side effects of one pill that treated the symptom of another. It was a crazy roller coaster that I was on for way too long. When I went down the vaccine rabbit hole, I realized after talking to my mom that I didn't receive all of my vaccines when I was really young. And I was caught up on them when I was 3. And right after that, I got really sick with strep throat that then turned into rheumatic fever. So from the time I was 3 to 5, I was a very sick child. I couldn't even go outside to play. Like, I literally remember sitting in front of the window watching all the neighborhood kids play outside, but I couldn't go outside. I couldn't be around anybody because my immune system was so low. Anyways, that's the lie that I then believed the rest of my life, was that my immune system was low, and that's why I was sick all the time. I had lots of UTIs and lots of strep throat and bronchitis by parasitic organisms that I'm not real sure didn't get activated when they took us outside for eclipses during school. I didn't go back through the date of all my childhood infections and see if they lined up with partial eclipses that we experienced during school, but I bet if I did, they would. But starting in 1989, which would have made me a junior or senior in high school, I received the influenza B vaccine, N3H2, at high school. Here's the thing. They came to my high school, so I got out of class. So of course I'm going to get out of class and take a flu vaccine, as did the majority of the school. It wasn't long after that I had mononucleosis and missed about 3 months of my senior year. That was in 1990. In 1991, second generation cell phone electromagnetic frequencies were fired up, and so was my pain. In 1993, my doctors introduced me to hydrocodone. I now believe that I was a guinea pig. And in 1996, the bird flu was introduced, H5N1. Because I was such a good little slave to the pharmaceutical industry, I lined up every time they offered their... In 1998, I got the worst flu that I've ever had while I was pregnant with my second daughter. They've never worked like they told us. In 2001, the third generation of microwave radio frequencies was introduced. In 2009, N1H1 showed up, and that one I didn't even have to get out of my car to get it. They came right out to my car window, poked me in the arm, and I was on my way. How lucky was I? And in 2010, we had the fourth generation of microwave radio frequencies introduced. And by 2011, my pain was so bad that I was on fentanyl patches and hydrocodone and Xanax and antidepressants. I mean, you name it, I was on it. But the fact that I was walking around on 100 mcg fentanyl patches is just crazy to me now. Like, that stuff's killing people now, and I was on it for 10 years, doctor prescribed. And these are all just my speculations. I have no proof of any of this, but I really do believe that I'm one of those people who was targeted from the start. And but enough about me. This is what I believe is getting ready to happen. I believe that everybody who took the Smack the Nation over the last couple of years has dormant, latent nanoparticulate viruses, whatever you want to call them, inside them, just waiting to be activated with the frequency. This is real. It's not a conspiracy. They don't hide the fact that they can activate dormant, latent Epstein-Barr virus with electromagnetic frequencies. So what else can they activate? What else are they going to activate? Why do they have all these cover stories in place for sicknesses? Like literally everything that they've told us over the last few months, everything that they're focusing on can bring a sickness. The radiation, the zombie viruses, the glasses, the climate change from Antarctica is going to bring a virus. No, that's not what's going to happen. Jacob's disease is coming. It's already happening in Michigan. And I know we're not supposed to talk about it. We're not. That's why I'm talking about it. Everything else we can talk about. Like everybody acts like Nibiru is such a big deal and it's a secret. No, it's freaking not. It's everywhere. Literally everywhere. Everybody's talking about Nibiru now. Why? Because they want us talking about it. If they didn't want us talking about it, you wouldn't be able to talk about it. Which is probably why this video will get taken down.